Aloha, y'all. Daniel Aaron here, your guide to vibrant living, and let me brag to you about how unconscious I am. Sometimes have been moving in a different direction. So, some of y'all know I am engaged for the third time in the Complaint Free Challenge. There are other videos that go into detail about what that means. Awesome to learn about it, even better to actually do it. Here is the slap upside the head I get from Spirit on this lately. First time I did the Complaint Free Challenge, going into it, I thought I was just a badass. I taught about complaint, I taught about gratitude, I had processes, I had lectures. I had no idea how addicted I was to complaining. It was horrifying, honestly, and embarrassing and enlightening and incredibly powerfully helpful and life-changing for me. That was the first time. It took me 8 months to complete the 21 days in a row without uttering a complaint. Now I'm going through it for the third time, and I'm so excited. I'm like 2.5 months in now. I finally got up to day 5. So the thing is, when you utter a complaint, you take your bracelet, switch it to the other wrist, and go back to day 1. I was on day 5 a couple nights ago. I was on a phone call with an old friend, and we were talking away. And if you had asked me 2 minutes before this conversation, Daniel, do you gossip? Or no, not me gossip. No, I know about gossiping. Near the end of the conversation, I say, "Hey, did you hear about?" And here's the trippy part, y'all. I saw it. Like, I could see it happening as I was doing it. I'm like, I'm doing that thing. And it was just like some other addiction. You know, I've had times in my life where I'm like, I want another drink of alcohol. I'm not using alcohol at this point in my life, but there were some periods, college being one of them, where I was like I could say, this is not good for me, but it was almost like I couldn't stop my hand from doing it. In that moment, with my friend the other night on the call, I was like, so then afterwards, I had to question for myself, was that did I engage in gossip? And yeah, I did. And was it borderline? Maybe. Could I give myself a pass? Yes, except for my goal isn't to reach the end. My goal is to become more aware, happier, and a better being in the world, to contribute more to the world. So it's like, yeah, that was gossip. That is a form of complaint. So then I said, why did I do it? Right? And Will Bowen, who kind of codified this complaint-free challenge, great system. One of the things he said is really helpful to understand why you complain. Right? He came up with 5 main reasons with an acronym GRIPE: get attention, remove responsibility, inspire envy, GRIP, excuse poor performance, and that's excuse poor performance. Power, 4 is power, like get people on your side. So I was going through the list in my head saying, why did I do that? And I realized, right, it was get attention. And a form of get attention is create connection with people. You ever notice this one, like you walk on a elevator with people, a common way to break the ice, to begin conversation, to get connected, is to say, this sucks. The baseball team lost. The weather's this way. The elevator's slow. The music's not good. Whatever. We come up with these things. Oftentimes we don't even care about them. It's just like some societal convention on, this is an acceptable way to open conversation with a stranger. By the way, a great antidote to that, so cool and amazing what this opens up. Compliment them, right? Compliment, complain. They sound similar, but very different effects. Compliment them on something. There's always something you can find, like, hey, I like your shoes. Oh, I noticed the way you smiled when I walked in. That felt really authentic. Whatever it is, easy to do. People light up, breaks the ice. There's a communication. So, back to me and my unconsciousness. In that moment, I was wanting to create some deeper level of connection with my old friend. Honestly, we're on the call, and I was like, I feel like it hasn't gone to the depth that I would want, that I feel like, is usually there. Don't know why, but whatever. I could have brought that up. I could have addressed that directly. Instead, I went for a really cheap, and I felt cheap afterwards. That was the thing about it that I noticed. So the invitation is to smell your own breath. Tricky thing. And the complaint is like bad breath. Easy to smell on other people, sometimes harder to notice on ourselves. So the question is, do you complain? And if so, why? And what would happen, complain specifically gossip? And if so, and gossip defined as speaking to one person about another in such a way that this person would have a diminished hearing or seeing or experience of this person, perception, image of this person. So, what would be another way? And thank you for sharing the journey with me. I hope it's interesting, inspiring. Certainly is humbling for me, and all of us are on a path toward greater awakening. Awesome sometimes to share the process, the bumps and bruises along the way. And with that, I sign off. Thanks, y'all. Aloha.